we've done and why we did it, and how the tax money is spent. And we wanted to shore this up to make it presentable on this, make it auditable. And so this is the attempt that has been made to do this with this paper, 8.5, 9 pages that you are looking at, that is designed to completely replace our Section 4, Article 7 of our municipal code. With these form of introduction, I'd like to get into some of this with you on this about the meeting, the intent, the organization, and so forth for this proposed procedure. In all of our in the code, each one begins with definitions that is appropriate for that particular article. And so the same thing has been done, tried to be done here with this section, this article in Section 4, to go through the various definitions of the terms, words that we will be using in the rest of the article. And this all has to do with procurement related items, directions, things, procedures on this. These definitions read here. Most of these are straightforward, are definitely business related kinds of words that have to do with this. The next section in here is that we propose that this is one of an authority of the procedure, the general organization of it, and the authority that will be undertaken for this. We said that it applies to all of the purchases of goods and contracts that will be for goods and services in the town. This cover everything that we in the expenditure of funds of the tax money. Under this section, the town treasurer has been appointed as the purchasing agent. Interpretation of the requirements in this section are the responsibility of the town attorney, who will guide through all of these as well as interpretation. And changes, of course, can be made, and these general policies is the next item that we have talked about here. And these general policies is the broad brush thing before we get into details a little bit later, the particular steps. This is that we will conduct ourselves with quotes, seal bids, negotiating this. Our procurement will be managed by the purchaser. There will be purchase order issued for transaction, and this will be of this as well as a way of keeping track of it. And this is also prohibited for a purchase order to be issued to any entity that has any official or employee of the town. We also want to support local businesses to see that bid businesses included in these bidders lists for this, whatever it might be, a good in this respect. We want to promote the reuse of recycled materials. This is stated with certain qualifications. Next one is we want to be sure that vendors are given every equal opportunity to bid on whatever the bid or service might be, with having clear and accurate descriptions. This will be and seen after by the purchasing agent and qualified vendors that pre-qualified routines, as well as a list of people that we have done. Our procurement actions and limitations. This section gets into the rules that we will have on a amount. The qualifications which must be fulfilled to exercise the procurement within a certain dollar range. If we go up to dollars, a certain requirement is that when we reach this point, we have quotations, 3 quotations for each expenditure, and this would be by sealed bid. This procurement, all of this procurement is initiated by an approved budget. The approved budget that everyone sees, everyone knows this, that it is adopted each for the next year, for the succeeding year. And these approved line items in the budget is the basis for beginning the procurement activities. If there is an overlooked item that comes up that an expenditure is needed for, then there are ways to amend the budget, to look into the budget. And during our last meeting, and we're quarterly balance that we want to do of the budget, so away from us, and so that we are in exact tune with a balanced budget at all times. And these line items that are in the budget is the basis to move into the procurement cycle. Next, our purchasing agent response. What the purchasing agent must do in this to issue the POs, and there's a number of items here, about 12 or so, that are the line responsibilities of the purchasing agent, all the way from managing the purchase orders, and doing who performed well in the past and for our next order. Also, in where we review them, and to keeping a record of all of the procurement transactions. Next, we're moving into the purchase order procedure. What is required to do a purchase order? There are proposed to be 3 different types of purchase orders. The blanket purchase order that is issued to vendors that we get goods or services from on a continuing basis. This would be people like auto parts suppliers and office supplies, things like this. They would be given a blanket purchase order, good for 1 1 year unless earlier revoked. And then there's a regular supply purchase order for a one-time purchase. And then finally, there is the contract purchase order. We have this purchase order system in place. Any service contracts for construction or service would be attached to a purchase order. And then it goes into the system and is tracked by the accounting and management system that is set up for all of these in place. This begins, of course, with a purchase requisition is saying, Mr. Department Head, I need something, I require something. And so this then is the initiation is moving from the line item into the purchase order. There's here that are important and are part of the purchase order. This is all out of this procedure. Next, we move into the quotation. In the quotations that are to be completed, a purchase order is issued. When the quotation of this is needed, and this is covered in this next section 4-1. This covers the sealed bids, which will be asked for in cases that are involving $5,000 or more for good or service to be done on this. And in this, we are asking that sealed bids be sent to us, be submitted to the town in 2 separate envelopes. 2 envelopes covering the same bid. The first envelope will be for the technical part of the quotation. This just says, I'm going to do the work. I will apply it this way. I will have this quality of material in the construction. I will do this type of first level inspection for it. I will make these report to you, etc. All of this is in the technical proposal. The second envelope, commercial proposal, or the part of the proposal will be in the second. The envelope is open and according to technical proposal. Then the commercial envelopes are open and are compared to and are given to align with the technical proposal. If it happens that in the commercial proposal that the bid matches the highest from that particular vendor, then this is an automatic award to this person who has the best technical proposal and the lowest price. If these two do not match, then all the documents go back to the authority, and they're valued the proposals, the quotations, the bids, in light of which is for the town of Green Mountain Falls. And these are prepared if they're poor associated with the lowest bid, then this should be spelled out in their report and their evaluation. And then a decision is made about which is the best proposal for the town. And this report is then given to the Board of Trustees for approval.
Due to time and to thank you for this and going through all of this. you know, our board meeting is supposed to start in about 4 minutes, and, you know, a point of a workshop too is to hear from our citizens. If they want to talk about this or discuss it right now, this is also on the agenda as well, so we can finish up if need be. What do you guys, I mean, there's a lot of information here, not a lot of time left, we can definitely revisit this, yes.
I just have a question, which talks about the $1,000 limitation. How do those two come with each other? Because there's 2 or 3 references back to A. I'm not sure I'm clear
Okay.
on what you mean by that.
All right. What this was mean, and maybe I could do better with this reference back, is that this means that you then initiate the purchase.
Well,
That's the criteria.
No,
When's it mean?
no, the key word here is to then initiate the purchase.
I thought that's what you meant,
Right.
but I wasn't
But-
sure.
But this could be clarified a little better than that. You're right, that's a very good point. Because the 1,000 is not, it's that you can, when these met in C, then you can revert to,
Because I worked in government agencies, I had to work with the purchase record. And let me tell you, it can be a pain in the butt, but it is a lifesaver when it. So I strongly support the board's move to do this.
thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Anyone else? Matt, you taking a look at this?
Yeah, and I have one comment that I definitely want the board to be aware of, that, you know, a lot of times you'll contractors that have a standard form agreement, which can save the town quite a bit of time in having your attorney draft it. Provide just something in there that says, like, the attorney, if they don't have one, the attorney can provide one, or the attorney can review theirs. Sometimes it's a lot quicker just to redline theirs and say, we don't like this, and add this, and this to start.
Okay. Can you give me a couple of notes?
I can do that.
Mary, have you read over this?
Put it in detail, I have skimmed through it. I'm a little concerned with the dollar amounts. I don't think our budget warrants the high dollar amounts. It's my opinion. $1,000, I think it needs to be all under $5,000.
Well, I think the intent, you know, for something that we'll see that won't occur very often. I think the competitive process is important once you get up that high on funds. I'm more concerned with making sure you have the tools to implement
Right.
such a process. And, so
I need to read it
you
and,
would do that.
and make notes on it. I will do that.
And we want to make sure you have what you need to.
I appreciate that.
So exhibits.
Great. There was 2 attachments, added on this, and this is the first order.
And I would probably, you know, I like what we've done here. I think it's very in line. I would like to see maybe our staff get closer to implementation, to have a little bit of.
Since you wrote this, you're familiar with it. You know, and go over that with them as well. Awesome.
I can help you with that.
Thank you.
You don't want my help with that, it's all. Alright. So, okay. Any other comments, questions, you guys? Yes, Mr. Brown?
I spent 21 years working with procurement for construction contracts, design contracts, planning contracts. And this is an excellent document. It incorporates a lot of the principles that we used in the Department of Defense spending. It has safeguards ensures a competitive process, can avoid a lot of lawsuits if it looks like there's partiality or favoritism. So I commend Don Ellis for an excellent job. And you'll have a couple of weeks now here to read this in detail. So I would recommend that you move on this, because we have a capital improvements program, we want to use these principles in, like dredging the lake and some of other smaller contracts.
Excellent. Good. Okay, thank you, trustee Ellis. Good job, Sarah. Thanks, you guys. Mr. Mitchell, would you open our doors now, please, sir? That would be great, or Mr. Matthews, somebody. Yeah, that's claustrophobic. Some fresh air in there. Really good, so. Okay, guys, we're gonna start our regular meeting here. Just a second. You wanna go You know, I might want to take just a little break. The workshop's closed, and we're gonna break for about 3 minutes. That'd be good.
I'll get it.